Hi and welcome back. OREA, or Ontario Real Estate Association, has created standard set of forms that are most commonly used when doing real estate transactions all across Ontario. In today's video, I'm going to explain one of the standard form that you would be required to sign regardless of if you are looking to buy or sell your current property. The purpose of this video is to give you an understanding and a general overview of the document so you know what you are signing. As always, if you learned something new from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Alright, the document that I'm going to explain is called Working with a Realtor. It's OREA Form 810. As I already mentioned, regardless of if you are in the market to buy a new property or you want to sell your existing one, this document is the very first document that your realtor should be presenting to you. The purpose of this document is to inform the consumer the two types of agency relationships that they can have with a brokerage, which is the client or customer. You as a consumer are free to make the choice that you feel is the best decision for you. The first section of this document highlights that a contract for real estate services is with the brokerage. Each realtor is working with the brokerage to provide the services of the brokerage. Managing the brokerage is the responsibility of the broker of record. In the next sections, the document is going to describe the different type of service relationships that are available to you as a consumer. Now, the first discussion in this form is about a client relationship. It is important to note this is the highest level of relationship between a realtor or brokerage and a customer. The client relationship establishes fiduciary duties between a realtor or brokerage and you as a consumer. The term fiduciary means that the realtor has an obligation to act in the client's best interest and to make a reasonable effort to determine any material facts that may affect their decision. Ultimately, it is always your decision as a buyer or seller, but the realtor under a client relationship is obligated to provide you with all the information that you may need to make that decision. The client arrangement is created through a representation agreement. Clients can be sellers or buyers. The representation agreement can come in the form of a listing agreement or a buyer representation agreement. These agreements are individual topic for a whole new video that you will see on my channel going forward. While in a client relationship, the brokerage must protect the interest of the client and not disclose confidential information. There is still an obligation to treat all other parties to the transaction with fairness, honesty, and integrity. Now, there will be instances where a consumer does not wish to have a client relationship with the brokerage. In those instances, the consumer can have a customer relationship. The customer relationship does not involve fiduciary duties and therefore does not involve the same level of obligation from the realtor. The realtor is always obligated to disclose the known facts and still required to treat the customer with honesty, fairness, and integrity. But the services will be on a restricted level. The consumer on a customer relationship needs to do their own research. The next section of this document explains that it is possible that the brokerage will be representing more than one client on a transaction, or where there is more than one offer on a property where the brokerage represents more than one client on a transaction. Now, this is called multiple representation. Your realtor is obligated to inform you when this happens. There are mandatory requirements that have to be fulfilled in these circumstances. All the clients to the transaction must confirm in writing that they acknowledge, understand, and consent to the multiple representation aspect of the relationship on confirmation of cooperation, which is another document and a topic for another video. Now, coming to the last section of this document, a realtor must disclose facts that may affect buying or selling decision for the consumer. Now, in order to ensure that the realtor adheres to the buyer's or seller's best interest, it is important for the buyers and sellers to discuss their needs and wants and any issues that may or may not affect their decision to buy or sell. Hopefully, this would avoid any misunderstandings or unpleasant surprises. It is also important for consumers to read and understand every contract before signing and before the contract becomes final. Now here, the buyer or the seller acknowledge that they have read and understood and received a copy of the signed form. The consumer confirms this by initialing whether they want to engage the brokerage as a client or a customer. If you are engaging the brokerage as a seller, you would use the left section. If you are engaging the brokerage as a buyer, you would use the right section. And if you are selling your property and buying a new one, you would use both the section to initial whether you are engaging the brokerage as a client or a customer. Now at the bottom of the form, the consumer is put on the notice that the law requires the realtor to verify the identity of sellers and buyers with whom they are working. Now, as always, if you have got any further questions, please feel free to click the first link in the description and book a call with me or give me a call. My contact information is written down below in the description section. If you have learned something new from this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to look out more videos explaining the forms that are used in the transaction on my channel. I'll see you all in the next video.